Hi everybody, Catch the Science Bug is at the Florida Aquarium today in Tampa, Florida, and we're going to go backstage with the penguins. Welcome to Catch the Science Bug. I'm Kim Bent and I'm really excited. We're at the Florida Aquarium and we are backstage at the penguin exhibit with Jason. Jason's a biologist here and he takes care of all these penguins every day. So who is this, Jason?
This is little Reef. He's one of 8 African penguins that we have here at the aquarium.
I recently read that the African Blackfooted Penguin was put on the endangered species list.
Yes, unfortunately they were placed there this past summer as a result of a lot of human actions. A lot of things that we're doing out there in the wild is causing a lot of issues for the penguins. They eat a lot of the same types of fish that we eat. I don't know about you, but they like anchovies and sardines. It's not one of my favorites, but a lot of people in the world like those, and so with competing with those for those fish with us is a big problem. Most of the time, penguins are always associated with ice and snow. And certainly, a lot of them do live there, but most penguins in the world are actually going to be found in a very warm or a very hot climate. All right, make sure y'all get a really good chance to see what they feel like. So, penguins are of course covered by a lot of feathers. But what do you think? What do you guys think a penguin is using his feathers for?
Swimming?
It's for swimming, insulation. You got it, absolutely right. Remember that water is 50 degrees, so. Cliff is actually one of our most affectionate. Pebbles is very affectionate too. Oh, there you go. There's your souvenir. Should be good for another 15 minutes. Their personalities develop partially as a result of, the interaction with humans, of course. They wouldn't develop quite the same types of personalities as out in the wild, but for sure. It definitely is a fun way of telling them all apart. Like I said, Cliff here loves everybody. He's very affectionate with everybody. Pebbles here is pretty affectionate too, but he has his little temper tantrums every now and then. This is one of the things that penguins do to show affection, the flipper slap. They're both doing it now. If you've ever scratched a dog's belly and seen them shake their leg, it's kind of the same as that. The head shake is something too. Let me see if I can get him to do the head shake. You shake your head for me, Pebble. Shake your head. Shake your head. There you go. So that's like a dog wagging its tail. It's, they have lots of different ways of showing affection. Sometimes they actually try preening us. I'm going to go ahead and put Pebbles in the water. They do have a layer of oil. There's a gland right here at the base of their tail, so when they are preening themselves, they'll pull the oil out and spread that across. So that's where that shine that you're seeing is coming from as well.
I read that they all have different feather patterns.
They do. Basically, of course, the black and white is pretty standard, but for these guys, they do have spots on their bellies, which are the equivalent of a human fingerprint. So we can actually use those spots to tell all the penguins apart. I don't really use them myself personally, but it is something that we could do.
Right.
These guys are a warm climate species of penguin, so of course the first thing that they could do to go cool off is jump in the water, but sometimes they might be nesting or molting even. If they're molting, they can't get in the water because they don't have any feathers. And so instead, they've developed a couple of other things to help them cool off, and one of them is an area right around their eyes that doesn't have any feathers on it. It's actually just full of tiny blood vessels. Basically, it's just their bare skin, and when they get too hot, the blood vessels will help release the heat away from their bodies.
How interesting.
Yeah, it's on also on their feet as well.
Really? Very neat.
All right, so let's see, who can we talk about? Now, little Wendy, who's actually in my hands right now, she's actually super affectionate along with her brother. They're two that I personally worked with for the whole desensitization process or getting them used to being around humans. And so they're very, very bonded to me, but they're still kind of skittish around strangers sometimes. Sandy here, he's our oldest male. He's also pretty particular, but he does a really, really awesome job in our public shows, so we really like using him when we do our shows out in front of the panoramic window.
Which one is Sandy now?
Sandy is right here.
Okay. Jason told us he rearranges the penguin area frequently to keep the penguins from getting bored. He sets it up so they can climb and jump in addition to swimming. These are all activities they would do in the wild. These penguins like to cross bridges, hide in the kennels, play with toys, and even look at themselves in the mirror. What can we do in our homes, in our daily lives, to help ensure the survival of the penguins?
Yeah, that's a great question. One thing that is very, very key that's becoming very popular is being conscientious about what seafood you're eating. So sustainable seafood is what you're wanting to look into. There are a number of websites that you can go to that will let you know which types of seafood are sustainable so that you know which choices to make when you're at a restaurant. Another thing is being conscientious of habitat loss. And the biggest one is petroleum usage, your carbon footprint, all those types of things, being aware of how much oil you're using. That way we're minimizing the need and minimizing the chances of things like spills taking place.
Exactly, and hopefully we'll get away from oil in the future, and
that
then
would
we
be
don't
fantastic.
have to worry about it. But you are just awesome. Thank you guys so much for doing this interview with us.
My pleasure.
This was a great
now he's being
privilege.
Sweet.
And I really enjoyed being here today. Jason, thank you so
My pleasure.
much. Thank you.